You can always find us, too, on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. But don't forget to watch us so we are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And I think knowing all the good resources out there for families is definitely a good thing. So joining us today is Miss Tammy. She's with Ever Reaching Community Outreach out of Pelahatchie, but they're reaching up to families up in 17 different counties throughout the month, up to 500 families. Mm-hmm. So welcome, Tammy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Over 500 counties. Mississippi's big, but ain't that big.
Not that big.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
But it's so good to have you here. And it's also good to continue to hear that, man, there are just organizations in all the nooks and crannies of our state that are meeting the people where they're at and meeting the needs that they may have. So when someone says, what is Ever Reaching Community Outreach? How do you kind of describe it to someone, Tammy?
It's a collection of people who have found that there's something that we all can do to help someone in need. And we started about 12 years ago. I found a family that was in desperate need of some help. And we did what we could do, trying to help them with a work project or things like that. And then as we're working with that family, we found another family. And then it just continued. It was just amazing to find out that there were children sleeping on the floor with no hot water. Parents had lost their job because their car had broken down. They had no means, and so we were just, what can we do to help? So first we offered to wash their clothes. They had clothes everywhere, and we just said, look, we can take them home and dry them. I promise we'll come back. And then when we came back the next day, they allowed us to come in, and that's when we could see how really bad the rental facility was that they were living in. And there was a 15-year-old girl, and I asked her, if there's anything I could get you, what could I get you? And out of all the needs that she asked for or could have asked me for, she asked for shampoo. And 15 years old, I had a 15-year-old daughter, and it really struck me. And I asked, do you need conditioner? She said, yes. Could I possibly have some razors? It's like, I can do razors, and I can do so much more than this. And so a group of us got together, and reached out to other churches and other people and just said, as Christians, we're called to do more, not just check off the box that I attended church Sunday night. Maybe I made Wednesday night too. That makes me a great person. But no, there's so much more that we can do. So we started out very simple, and it is very simple. Maybe you have something in your closet. I have something in mine. We put that together. That helps somebody in need. And so it started that way. And then it just grew and continued to grow. And then it was like furniture, appliances, and then we became a 501c3, so we became a food pantry with the Mississippi Food Network, so now we provide monthly food assistance. We started partnering with other ministries, people that could provide GED classes or life skills training or all these different resources. You start finding that, hey, there's this place that's free, and that could change the future of my life and my family's life. And so as we talked before, you don't know what you don't know. Right. So it's been a learning experience for all of us, but a blessing to us as well. It is hard work. The needs are great, but to have someone walk in that just had a fire and they come in and they can pick out the clothes they need or plates or glasses or, a lady came in one time, someone brought it and all she had on was the clothes she was wearing. And when she walked in the door, I said, just look around. Everything is yours. Whatever you need is free. We never sell. We don't profit in any way other than the blessing that it receives to help somebody meet those needs. And she just broke down in tears. But the fact that someone cared, a stranger cared, and just said, you know what, I just want to love you. I just want to help provide what I can for you. And so we are very driven to make a connection with the families when they come in. And as they come in each month, we talk with them. In a confidential area, is there things that you'd like to talk about? I've had so many people tell us, I don't know the last time someone touched me. I don't know the last time someone hugged me or prayed for me. And so
Now, Tammy, you'll make me cry on Friday.
I'm sorry. No, it's supposed to be happy hour.
Yeah.
But
no, this is good to say, yes.
The happy part is that there are so many caring people out there. They just want to know where the needs are and how they can meet them. That may be volunteering, that may be sending funds, that may be sending donations, whatever that may be. We just pull those resources together, just like the early church did in Acts 2 when God set it up. Why would you change the model? It's not complicated.
No.
And so that's what we've done. We need a larger facility. We need all kinds of things, but God always provides. And in 12 years, we've never had to shut the door. We've come close to running out of food at times. We are only open 4 hours, 2 days a week, and we've had up to 121 families in one day.
How many volunteer staff do you guys have?
It's large now. It could be larger. We always need, and summertime is a really great time for students to come in and earn community service hours. Our youth groups come in, vacation Bible schools provide food drops for us, boy-girl competition, which are great things. So we're looking forward to that because we're very low on food right now. But it's just, like I said, it is a blessing to watch it unfold. It is a blessing that when they walk in, that we just want to create this atmosphere of peace and calm, no judgment, no criticism. And what is beautiful is that a lot of the families come in on the same days each month now, and so they've created friendships and like, how's your mom and them? How's this? Whatever. They're not alone in this. We're all a few paychecks away from being at the same place, so there is no judgment. We most all have been there, so we all have some poverty in some way in our lives. So it's just a blessing that they'll walk across that threshold, and then from there we will do the best we can to provide what needs. We also take the needs list and have a request list, so when those beds or when that furniture comes in or when that microwave shows up, then we can call them and say, hey, it's here, it's free. Again, you never know what you're going to receive. You never know what's going to be requested, but we try to meet whatever need. Like I said, God always provides. It's just amazing.
It's amazing to me that you think about 12 years ago, and then you just met one need, and then a decade later, look at what it's able to do in that community.
Right.
So often here, Miss Tammy, on Good Things, we get people, because I'm hearing your story now, and if someone's listening, they're like, oh gosh, that seems very overwhelming. Like, I couldn't do all of that. That seems like too much. But it's like, don't miss the part that it just started with meeting, just shampoo and conditioner.
That's right. That's right.
And then you never knew, because you probably would have been scared poopless if you'd have thought, like, in 10 years, this is what I'll not have to be, but will transpire to. But it kind of just unfolds itself.
It does. And that's what's so simple about it. It's not so I worked full-time in the legal field for 40 years when we started this. So this is, and most of us work, the people that began it and the board members and that, we still have those jobs, but there's still time you can provide. It may be an hour this day or maybe an hour this week or something, but there's something we can do. We can make a phone call, we can write letters or cards, encouragement, just to help those families have hope that tomorrow can be better. They don't see it. There's no way. If you can imagine yourself, no money, no car possibly. How am I going to feed my children? The electric bill came in, the water bill came in, but there are resources to help you. There are resources that we need to get out there and let the families know there is help available. And our churches need to step up, and they do. There are a lot of churches that do great things. This is an opportunity for us to reach out to our families in our communities and show them what the church is, and not just inside that building.
How do your families find you, Tammy?
Word of mouth a lot. They also, I guess, Mississippi Food Network, we have other resources will refer us. We work together with a lot of the different organizations and ministries. We reach out to them and say, hey, we're in there. We want to help you if you know of a family in need. We work a lot with the youth court, child protection services. They even know the code to get in our door. We're like, you need a bed, you need a food box, an emergency food box. Well, then it's open. It's not our location, it's God's, and so we just open it up and say, come and get what you need. We love working with child protection services too, because there are times where they may need a bed or so. So those those children can go back home with their family or not be taken away from their family. They have to have basic needs there. So
there's so much more to get to with Tammy coming up next here on Good Things. The app, always on that local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget to watch us. We're on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We're continuing our conversation with Tammy. She's with Ever-Reaching Community Outreach out of Pelahatchie, but they serve up to 17 additional counties. Families driving in, about 500 families each month. All donations are freely given, which I love that, Tammy. And then y'all turn around and just give them all freely out. But I also love that you have sort of like the list if a family comes in and is like, hey, my washer went out.
Right.
If you happen to get one, sort of let us know. So you are connecting people with the things that they need. Talking about a God wink, man. If someone comes in and you're like, the Joneses needed a air conditioner or whatever, a microwave, and then someone comes 2 weeks later or a week later and it's like, hey, I've got this, and you're like, ah.
The same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a girl come in, and her baby was 4 days old, and she hardly had anything. And right behind her came a lady in with all of the things. And another lady had no refrigerator and no way to keep her food cool or a washer dryer or anything like that, and lots of kids, and the baby was crying, hungry. And she said, I said, can I help? And she said, he only had one bottle and he drank it. And so we ran back. It was like, let's go get some milk and let me take you back to the baby items, see if we can find some baby food. And I started pointing out, well, does he like this or does he like that? And she looked at me and she said, I don't know. I've never fed him the baby food. And I said, what do you do? And she said, I just smush up what we have because I can't afford the food. And so it was eye-opening, and so we got what we could, and she had other children, and we asked, could I ask them if they'd like a sandwich or something to snack on or whatever? And the little girl was very happy to have it, and she came to her mom a little bit later, and she said, Mom, can we just stay here? She said, they have air conditioning, they have toys, they have food, and it broke my heart, but at the same time, I was so thankful that we were able to help when we could. There. Right. And then as she walks out to go to her vehicle, in comes the guy who picks up our deliveries, and he had a refrigerator on the trailer for her.
Yeah.
So,
man, that's good like that.
It's good.
Yeah. And I know right now summer's tough for all the food banks across the state, not just you guys there in Pelahatchie, but particularly you guys. And y'all need the generosity of people.
Yes.
So, like right now, what's it looking like
it's
there?
very bare. We had over 200 families last week during the days that we were open, and our cupboards were bare. We have hardly any meat. I think we had burritos and some pulled pork that we were able to give for meat, which is very low compared to what we normally are able to provide. The new families that are coming in are increasing in numbers, especially during the summer. So any help that anyone can provide, food drives, canned meat, canned food, any kind of staples, non-perishables, anything that can fill up these families, especially during this summer.
Do y'all take financial donations?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I wasn't sure. So with being connected to the Food Network, y'all still have the opportunity to buy foods needed at a much lower cost.
Yes,
to be able to turn around and give away.
Right. Mississippi Food, of course, goes through times where they don't always have everything they would like to provide as well. So we are part of Feeding America. They give us a Walmart store and a Target store nearby, and but we never know what we're going to get from that. And some Dollar General stores as well. So we appreciate any help, and we just didn't. We weren't prepared for 120 families a day. We're used to it would be 40. 50 was a big number for us, 50 families a day in 4 hours. But now it's running over 100. And like I said, 121 in 4 hours is a great amount. And we've had to do a little drive-through around so they make it a little bit faster. Our area is very small. We need a larger place, but got to provide that as well. So we're just happy to help. We do ask if you can help with food. We sure would appreciate it.
And then also, too, if you just said something in your closet or maybe like that you're changing out or upgrading, instead of thinking about throwing it on Marketplace to get $100 for it,
right?
What good you could do with it by giving it to an organization that can meet the need for another family.
Absolutely. And we're a 501c3, so we can provide that tax receipt. We are very low on children's clothes. Women's clothes, we get a good amount. Men's clothes, men wear their clothes until they wear them out, so we hardly ever get a lot of men's clothes. We do, but we appreciate appreciate it when we do. We are very low on baby clothes and children's clothes, but we take everything. And we do have a large metal container outside our building where it's enclosed and you can drop off donations at any time at your convenience. We don't have to be open or there for you to do that.
You also were talking about, too, Tammy, Hope Rising,
Yes.
something you're involved with. Share with us about that.
Yes, Hope Rising in Mississippi is a wonderful organization that we're very proud to be a part of. It's through the Mississippi the Children's Justice Commission and the First Lady, and Justice Dawn Beam was very much initiated this and helped with this, and we're trying to make sure that the children stay with their families and not are taken into the welfare system, and that we've found that there are special areas that could help address those, and so they classify them as HOPE, which H is housing and transportation, O, opportunities for treatment, P, parental supports, and then E for economic security. And so we're addressing those areas to try to help the families have a better future, have the things that they need, help provide those things or point them to where they can get help, and then they're able to keep those kids into their own home, which is where they need to be. And of course, if there is an abusive situation, of course, that's, they need to be taken. But on where they can stay, that's where we would like to do.
How do people learn more about that, Tammy?
That's on hoperisingms.org, and they have a Facebook and things like that. We're trying to find all the resources in Mississippi and pull those together so that we can have a way for the families to find out about the incredible things, the good things that are going on in Mississippi.
Even though it's tough topics, things you don't want to think about or things you would never want your family, we need to be aware that they're out there and the simple ways that we can help do that.
Exactly.
I know you mentioned too, y'all have got a can't think about back to school yet, Tammy, but y'all are having a back
to school bash July the 19th, and we love partnering with Yogi on the Lake. They let us use their beautiful entrance there, and so then we have bounce houses, water slides, all kind of fun for the kids, and then we'll be providing backpacks and school supplies as best we can. We're hoping that we could reach out and make it a community-wide backpack summer bash, so we could our unity would really be able to reach more and provide the hope that these families need, and also to show the families we really do care. We want to be a part of this. We there is no shame in asking for help, and that's what we're called to do as Christians.
And y'all are doing it so well. Again, I think back to just 12 years ago. It all started with, I'm never going to forget that shampoo and conditioner.
I know.
But knowing that those type of just simple service, those acts of simple service can mean so much to your community.
It can.
And don't be scared by getting the shampoo and the conditioner and think that you're going to have to wind up like Tammy running a 17 county organization. Because again, I mean, it seems very overwhelming, but it feels like God progressed you guys just as you needed it, when you needed it, in your time, showing you that you could, and then obviously is going to continue to do that over time. Do you guys have a website for people to learn more information?
www.everreaching.org. We also have a Facebook page, and we also have a Facebook closed group where we post needs in there. In that group, we don't mention names, but we do actually discuss situations so that you can be aware of what's happening. Great things, people that want to help, they just want to know where the needs are, and then they can meet that need. And so there'll be times where I'll post it and 15 minutes later I'll have a refrigerator, or somebody wants to build a wheelchair ramp. We were very happy to do that for a family in Pillahatchee, actually, a little boy that was 5, couldn't walk and couldn't talk, and Blair Batson created a custom wheelchair for him, but there wasn't any way for him to get out of his home, and so put the need out there, and of course people responded and said, let us come build it. And for the first time, this little boy could actually move in his own way in the wheelchair, and actually roll down the ramp and then come out on a concrete area where he could actually move himself for the first time, and the freedom of that, and just knowing that we could be a part of that is a blessing to us, because we truly believe that when we wake up every morning, we're supposed to serve someone else. We're there for somebody else. It's not really all about us. It's about someone else that God puts in our path.
And when you do that, gosh, you, the giver, get so much more back.
Exactly.
And not that that's why you should supposed to be doing it, but it feels it's counterintuitive in what you would think.
Very much so. Providing hope.
And providing hope. All righty, Keith and Meridian says, heart warning, I want to help. If you want to help, then you can go to
everreaching.org.
All right, I think this is first of many conversations. Tammy,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's Friday, so we got Tanya with movies coming up next.